Hello, and welcome to Sports Update. We'll be looking at the latest sports news from around the region and beyond.
We'll also look at the various Evangel games that happened over the weekend and the latest in pro sports. I'm Didi Little.
And I'm Madison Letterman, and this is Sports Update on EU TV. Thank you for joining us. Didi Little is finally in the studio today. How does it feel to be here, Didi?
It definitely feels great to be out and about and be around people again, and I'm super excited to be in the studio and to talk sports with you guys.
Well, that's great. We have the latest on Evangel sports, and later we'll be talking with Evangel's own basketball athlete, Ashlyn Reinhardt. But first, let's talk about football.
The Evangel Crusader football team found itself on the wrong side of history this past weekend. The Crusaders fell on the road to the Culver Stockton Wildcats for the first time in 6 years, as they saw a second-half lead vanish behind two fourth-quarter touchdown passes from Wildcat quarterback Corbin Markham. 3 fourth-quarter turnovers by the Crusaders led to 18 unanswered points by the Wildcats, as the Crusaders lost by a score of 34-17. Quarterback Zeke Kuyawa threw for 129 yards and a touchdown in the loss, while running back Nikos Oropeza also found the end zone on a 1-yard run in the first quarter. The Crusaders will look to bounce back this Thursday at home against the Grandview Vikings. Kickoff is scheduled for 6 p.m. from Tiger Stadium in Ozark, where attendance will be limited to 50% capacity.
The Evangel volleyball team announced their decision to postpone their game against Benedictine that was scheduled for September 22nd after contact tracing and cautionary quarantine procedures were enacted. Evangel Athletics believes that this delay will be the best decision at this time so that the student athletes can return to the court after the appropriate procedures are completed. If all goes well, the team will hope to see the court Friday, September 25th at Central Methodist.
The Evangel cross-country teams continue to have a strong fall of work as the men secured a second-place finish this past weekend in Columbia, Missouri. The finish came behind a 25-minute, 38-second 8K by senior Shane Burns. This performance enabled Burns to secure Hart Conference Run of the Week recognition for the second time this fall, after previously receiving the award for a first-place finish at the Cody College Invitational. Grant DeWitt and Jonathan Dazel rounded out the group of Crusaders who placed in the top 15 for the men. Emily Standage led the Lady Crusaders with a time of 20 minutes and 32.61 seconds, which landed her 15th place. The team will compete again on October 9th at the Border War cross-country meet. The Crusaders will be back in action on October 9th at the Border War cross-country meet in Elsa, Illinois.
Women's soccer beat Mount Mercy Saturday in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The Crusaders had 25 shots, 18 of which were on goal. Bianca Biffer and Renan Kirkpatrick scored 3 goals each between the two halves, allowing for the Crusaders to win 10-0. We've had so many injuries this year in Evangel sports.
Yeah, Saturday was definitely a rough one for the football team. We had a few key guys get injured, actually. Quarterback Zeke actually got hurt, and it was pretty tough for us, but we'll definitely be in shape to bounce back this Thursday. We have a few people coming out from quarantine, so that'll definitely help us out this Thursday.
That's awesome. The volleyball team is in the exact same position. We have everyone in quarantine, at least varsity almost, and a few injuries as well. For sure.
Do you think you guys will be able to bounce back from, I know y'all took a couple games off, but do y'all think y'all will be able to bounce back from this?
Well, we still haven't hit the official date of out of quarantine, but hopefully soon we'll all be back and we can hit that game on the 25th.
For sure. Well, it sounds like volleyball and football is struggling, but at least cross country is doing pretty well.
Yeah, they're really achieving high standards this year.
For sure. It's definitely been an exciting fall. It definitely just feels good to have sports back in general, with all the stuff that's been going on.
Yes, we've missed it so much.
For sure. But coming up later, we'll be checking on the latest from the NFL and the Big Ten.
But in just a few, Didi will be with Ashlyn Reinhardt to talk about EU basketball. Please stay with us.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow.
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones
Don't even.
and explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Welcome back to Sports Update. Joining us today is junior Ashlyn Reinhardt, who is a basketball player here at Evangel. Ashlyn, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really good. Thank you for asking.
That's good. It's good. It's great to have you here. Well, last year was a historic year for the Lady Crusaders. It was the first time that you guys actually clinched the postseason berth since 2011. So can you talk me through that moment, how that felt, just being there with the girls and seeing that you guys made the national tournament?
It was so exciting. We had a watch party that night, and we were kind of expecting it, but just actually hearing our names and just hearing our names from Springfield and that we actually made it was just so exciting that all of our hard work for the season had paid off.
For sure. You could definitely tell that that a lot of hard work was put into that season. But this year actually is going to look a lot different for you all, with the departure of all the seniors last year, such as the All-American Lexi Vogt. So what can we expect for you guys to do this year to replicate the success of last year and have another 20-plus win season?
We just have to work hard. We know coming into this season who we've lost, but what we still have and what we've gained. We have a really talented freshman class as well, but we have a lot of returners that now have a year of experience or a couple years that we've played together. So it's really just about meshing and setting our goals high, because I think it's still achievable this year, even without Lexi and the other seniors. But it's certainly a goal of ours. It's just to keep working hard.
For sure. So how do you think you guys will actually mesh? I know y'all are kind of in the off-season period right now, so you haven't actually had the opportunity to go full go as you would like during the season. So how do you think you guys will mesh, with the freshman class coming in and then also the returners that you guys have coming back? How do you think that'll go together?
I think we're going great. We've been able to do preseason, fortunately, under these circumstances, and we really have bonded, and it's even that off-court chemistry that we have that will duplicate onto the court. It's so nice just now that we've been able to establish those relationships.
For sure. So as you talked about just now, we're under special circumstances right now with the pandemic and all those things. And the pandemic actually cut the season short last year, and you guys actually didn't get the opportunity to make the trip to the national tournament, although you clinched a berth. So what has it been like? What has been the biggest challenge so far with the whole COVID-19 thing and you guys trying to do the things that you do in the preseason?
Staying healthy. We had to take a full week off as a team just because we had so many in quarantine and so many that we just took extra safety measures with. So we've had an extended week of preseason, which has been nice for us condition-wise. But our practices don't start until October 1st now, so that pushback for practices has allowed us another week.
For sure. That's good. So what was it like, just getting back to Evangel and seeing all your teammates, after such a long break? I know we had some people were calling it a 5-month spring break and things like that. So what was it like just being able to see the girls after such a long break?
It was so relieving. It was just so refreshing to be back and be in that atmosphere of being able to work out, but also seeing them off the court and at class and walking around and being able to hang out, because not a lot of us were able to travel over the break. But it's been really nice just to be back with everyone.
For sure, for sure. So with all of the COVID protocols in place and all of the contact tracing things and the measures that, the school has in place and the CDC has in place, again, what has been sort of a challenge, aside from staying healthy and things like that, what has been the biggest challenge on the court, for you guys and trying to prepare for the upcoming season?
Our limited contact, we haven't been able to do a lot of open gyms and have a lot of basketball time in this preseason. So once we jump into it in October, it's going to be kind of new still to all of us to get back into the rhythm of things.
Okay, so since you guys can't really do too much basketball things right now, what have you been doing to prepare for the upcoming season?
Running, lots of running, which is good. It'll pay off in the long run. We're still able to be with each other just in smaller groups. But yes, running is our biggest.
For sure. So what are you most excited about this year? What can we expect from the team this year?
I say we can expect a lot of good things. I think we'll pick up where we left off last year, and hopefully we make it back to the tournament. That's our goal this year.
For sure. And what kind of expectations do you have for yourself personally this year as well?
I'm hoping just to contribute more than I did last year, that I worked on my game in the off season. So hopefully people can see that, and I can help our team just be better in any way that I can.
For sure. That sounds amazing. Definitely sounds amazing. Well, Ashlyn, it's definitely been a pleasure having you here. We're looking forward to great things from you and from the Lady Crusaders this year. So we're definitely excited. We'll all be watching and keeping up with you guys this year.
Thank you so much.
For sure. Coming up, we'll be looking at the new Big Ten schedule and professional games from the weekend. Stay tuned.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills, the smarts.
Yes, you.
You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
The Big Ten football schedule was announced over the weekend. Beginning on October 24th, the college football teams will begin their 8 regular season conference-only games with 6 consolation games and a first-ever Champions Week beginning December 19th. For their Week 1 game, Nebraska will kick off their season in Columbus against the Ohio State University Buckeyes.
There's a saying regarding professional football, and that the term NFL stands for not for long. And that was the case for Super Bowl winning running back C.J. Anderson. Anderson made the decision to retire from the NFL this past week after just a 7-year career, which saw him rush for nearly 3,500 yards and 22 touchdowns. Anderson did make the most of his time as he appeared in Super Bowl 53 with the Los Angeles Rams after winning Super Bowl 50 as a member of the Denver Broncos. Anderson is believed to be making his way into the collegiate coaching ranks, as ESPN's Adam Schefter reported that he would be coaching at a Power 5 conference very soon.
The Kansas City Chiefs find a way to win in all situations. This week against the Los Angeles Chargers, the Kansas City Chiefs won a nail-biter on the road. The come-from-behind win was hard-fought and capped off with a 58-yard field goal by Harrison Butker in overtime. This distance tied the record for the Chiefs' longest field goal recorded. He is the second kicker in NFL history to make a pair from 58 in the same game. Overall, the Chargers fought hard for the game, but not hard enough, and the Chiefs came out on top 23-20.
In more NFL news, how about those Dirty Birds? After being up on the Dallas Cowboys by as many as 20 points and by as many as 15 points with under 8 minutes to win in the fourth quarter, the Atlanta Falcons did the unthinkable. They lost. Them boys were able to overcome 3 lost fumbles, 2 failed fake punt attempts, and a failed 2-point conversion to come all the way back and defeat the Falcons 40-39 in their home opener. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott threw for 450 yards and a touchdown and ran for 3 more scores as he became the first quarterback in NFL history to throw for over 400 yards and run for 3 touchdowns in the same game. This Falcons loss was reminiscent of their 28-3 meltdown in Super Bowl 52 against the Patriots, as they have now lost twice in the last 3 years while being up by 15 or more points with less than 8 minutes remaining in the game. The Dirty Birds will look to secure their first win of the season against the Bears on Sunday, while the Cowboys will be looking to start a mini winning streak as they take on the Seattle Seahawks on the road. This past Saturday, 17 seconds led to a $50,000 performance bonus for Khamzat Chimaev. The Swedish-born UFC fighter faced off against Gerald Meerschaert, who has appeared in 45 MMA bouts. Chimaev was able to knock out Meerschaert with 1 punch, which enabled him to become the fastest person to reach a record of 3-0 in the promotion's history. Chimaev appeared in the UFC octagon for the first time just 66 days ago, and he has now compiled 9 wins in his professional MMA career. UFC President Dana White has already said that Chimaev will be facing off against jiu-jitsu master Demian Maia in his next fight later on this fall.
Bryson DeChambeau has an unconventional yet efficient golf swing. In March, DeChambeau gained 40 pounds and gained quite a bit of yardage on his shots. He won the U.S. Open at Winged Foot Golf Club with a difference of 6 strokes between him and second place. Bryson DeChambeau completed 9 top 10 finishes in 2020 and probably will have a few more in the upcoming months. Well, NFL season is in full swing right now, and we had some pretty great games Monday night.
Yeah, we definitely did. We actually saw the Las Vegas Raiders win their first game in the first NFL game in Las Vegas, and it was definitely a great game. You know, they took on the Saints, and Derek Carr looked extremely good last night. I can't even lie to you.
Yes, and we have a lot of great games coming up next week, including the Kansas City Chiefs and just a lot of other teams.
Yes, the Chiefs will actually be taking on the Ravens on Monday night, and that'll be a good game. You know, we get to see Patrick Mahomes go up against Lamar Jackson, and, you know, that's a battle of last year's NFL regular season MVP and last year's Super Bowl MVP, so that definitely should be a great matchup, and I know I'm excited personally to look forward to watching that game and seeing what those guys do on the field.
Yeah, it'll be really exciting to see. Well, let's go ahead and check out what's coming up for the Crusader Sports this week.
All right, coming up, the next football game will be a home game this coming Thursday, September 24th, and our Evangel Crusaders will be taking on the Grandview Vikings out of Des Moines, Iowa, and that game will be taking place at Tiger Stadium in Ozark, Missouri at 6 p.m. And fans will be allowed to attend the game, although capacity has been limited to 50%. So if you can't get out to Tiger Stadium, make sure you stream the game on the Heart Sports Network or on the Evangel Sports Network as well.
And our volleyball team will be taking on Central Methodist at Central Methodist on Friday, September 25th, as long as everything goes well with their quarantine. And then they will also be playing the next day, the 26th, at Missouri Valley.
Soccer will be taking place this coming weekend. Saturday, September the 26th, our women's soccer team will be taking on the Clark Pride at 12 p.m. out here in Springfield, Missouri on Corio Field. And the men's soccer game against Clark has been postponed, so stay tuned for future updates as we find out more information about that situation.
And our men's tennis team will be playing St. Louis Pharmacy at St. Louis on Saturday, September 26th at 1 p.m. So if you would like to watch that game, you can always watch it live as well on the website. We have so many exciting games coming up, and I'm so excited to go to my first college football game.
Yes, I'm sure it's definitely going to be a great experience. It's always a great experience, you know, just being out there, seeing all the fans and just how the Maroon mob goes crazy for the football team. It's definitely a great experience. So happy for that for you that you actually get to go and experience your first college football game.
Yes, I'm so excited that we're actually allowed to go.
Yes, for sure. And there's definitely hopefully we get some good volleyball action this weekend as well. I know the volleyball team has been doing pretty good here as of late. So I'm excited to see, you know, the results of that. I have some friends out on the team. So hopefully all of that goes well. How do you feel about that?
I'm really excited for that to happen too, as long as they get to play. So far, they've only had 1 loss, and I think they've had 4 wins. So we are up this season so far, and I just hope for the best as that continues.
For sure, for sure. It's definitely exciting times to be an Evangel Crusader athlete. It has been, and we'll look forward to continuing to do that.
Yes. Well, that's all the time we have today for Sports Update. I'm Madison Letterman.
And I'm Dee Dee Little. Be sure to join us next week as we bring you the latest in sports news. This has been Sports Update on EUTV.